All right. So, in just a minute or so, we're going to have Marco Egli come on stage. We also have our coffee break coming up after this one, so be sure to get ready for that. So, Marco Egli, solutions architect at Intelliact, is going to come here and talk about how GraphQL accelerates B2B composable commerce. Marco, welcome to the stage. How's it going today?
Hi, Brian. I'm doing good. Thank you for this quick introduction. There's pretty much of keywords in this title, and I'm going through the slides one by one, so I try to explain everything that happened in this showcase. I'll start with the case itself. I'll talk about, in this presentation, about the showcase of Tom Medical, where we built an online shop with a particular focus on the approach and the role of GraphQL. Tom Medical is the expert for dental implants, and as a Swiss manufacturer, Tom Medical develops and produces systems for dental prostheses that meet the highest standards of quality and safety. And as a central requirement in the creation of the solution were the individual needs of dentists and dental technicians. And so our approach, in a few words, is always that we start with the customer journey and then proceed to architecture. And one key requirement in the shop of Tom Medical was that there are many ways to find the needed product. Needed product in this case is implants, instruments, implant analogs, abutments for temporary restoration, and so on. So we started with a customer journey where we mapped all the ways or the many ways to find the needed products. And what we did is to find out how each user group will finally use the shop. So we defined for the user groups generalist, the expert of a dentist, dental practice assistant, sales agent and field service, and the distributor. And for each user group, we created the paths in the application where they will follow along the pages, the applications, and the features. So one way is navigating through the categories. This is pretty common. In each shop, there is a category system. So we also built or wanted to build a navigation via the hierarchy of categories to the products. And with the integrated configurator, resulting products can be added directly to the shopping cart. There should have been a scan to cart feature, so that dentists can pick up a product they already bought and re-buy it again. They can also upload Excel lists or with data matrix scans, or they can upload patient schedulings or reports containing product numbers, and the system will find the product number and list it, and from the list they can be added to the cart. Well, of course, the search on Google should be optimized. So there was a search engine optimization process so that products can also be found via the search engine. And in addition, the internal search is designed so that products can be found just as quickly as if they were searched with Google, so that users on the page have the same user experience as searching on a search site. And the last thing I'm gonna present today is the way to a matching product. So that's also a common case, that the dentist starts with an implant and needs to find all the matching products within a selected platform of products with maximum insight and minimum interaction. So that were all the different use cases we wanted to support in the shop application. And with a standard shop, about 80% of all the use case could have been built with a normal effort, but usually the individual 20% and all new features or future features cost many time more. And yes, all these extra costs were expected for the features just shown because they're kind of special and they don't not really fit in a standard shop. So our conclusion is that we need to build a product model that does match the business model as best as possible. And there is where we decided to develop the store front end individually. And only with a precisely fitting product model, it is possible to achieve the best possible user experience. So we needed a product model that allows products to be classified several times in the category hierarchy. We needed a product model that allows configuration across several dimensions in a simple way, so like diameter and length. And we needed a product model that maps suitable products based on the platform logic of Thomson Medical, so that a dentist can find all the matching products in a platform in an easy way. That's where the composable commerce came in. So we developed a progressive web application as the front end. So the front end is tailor-made to the customer's use case and the uniqueness of the product or the product model. We used building blocks, standard building blocks, to guarantee high robustness and scalability. So we were only able to go to multi-market and multi-language from on start. So the application now can handle almost infinite parallel users, and all the interfaces were or are powered by GraphQL wherever possible and some JSON APIs. And what that means and why GraphQL is important, I'll show in the second half of my presentation. What we used as a technological stack is all the content and all the product model we built in HighGraph, which is a headless CMS with integrated media management and a GraphQL interface. We used Commerce Layer as a headless commerce and distributed order management system. We used Algolia for a lightning fast search to find products. And on the enterprise backend, there is SAP as the ERP backbone and the interface built by CAS. So in the composable enterprise architecture, the tech stack is built on cloud services and capabilities, which can be well described with the Mach definition, focusing on flexibility, scalability, and APIs. And that's where it gets very handy with GraphQL, because now we have defined an individual product model, as described before, and we need to have APIs or queries to that product model in many different ways. And we all want that without changing the backend services all the time. And if we have a look at the features presented before that were on the requirements list when starting, we can build all these features by just querying the product model we built, the individual product model we built, by using GraphQL. So navigating through the categories is a query from category to product group, and finally to the products to get back SKUs, names, paragraphs, description, images, and URL. So the products can be queried through the category hierarchy. When we have a look at the scan to cart features, where we find SKU numbers in scans, in Excel lists, in data matrices, and so on, we just query for the products in the product list where the SKU is one of the words. So where the SKU of the product is, for example, 4.23.123, and find the corresponding products and can add them to the cart. If we need on a product detail page the product information that is needed for search engine optimization, we can just query the product with a specific SKU for its GTIN, for its localized name, for its ranking, and again for product group, category, parent category. So we get the back breadcrumb to describe the relevant keywords for users that try to find a product with a search engine like Google. And the last case, matching product, is just filtering for products with a specific platform and a specific material class to find the matching product. So matching products can be displayed on the same page as the product detail, and dentists and technicians will find matching products easily. So with GraphQL, we had many different views on the same data made possible. In the front end, the relevant data can be retrieved according to the situation without having to make any changes to the backend. And that was really brilliant, because with that, we achieved a very high developer productivity and were very fast for finishing the application. So this also enables flexible, independent, and very fast development. And getting always just the relevant data results in having fewer requests with shorter responses, which then increases performance of the front-end app incredibly. So finally, yes, front-end performance matters, and also matters the development speed. So in this case, we were from zero, from the first workshop to feature complete in about 6 months. The app package size on initial load is just about 250K, and adding items to cart is the same all over the world, because we rely on a headless commerce system with nodes all over the world. And also the same is true for product detail pages, whereas Graph CMS or HiGraph has read nodes all over the world, where product can display in an insane speed all over the world. All this resulted in winning 5 awards at the Best of Swiss Web Award in this year, in 2022. And the jury said to our application that the web shop is lightning fast solution, well, thanks to GraphQL and this structured product model, and is with a very wide range of functions. And the very wide range of functions was possible also thanks to GraphQL, because we were able to develop with a huge speed. And the jury also particularly liked how the complexity of the application scope was handled, and they thought the shop is mature and can be used easily, and the implementation is flawless and has a modern integrated architecture all the way to the ERP backend. And well, to close up with my slides, with GraphQL, the following goals were easily achieved. So we had a short time to market. We achieved a low risk for vendor lock-in, because there was no just one single vendor used, but different ones, and composed them all together. We don't have a redundant data management. It was easy to integrate with existing content. We achieved high developer productivity with interfaces for complex B2B functions. And well, actually, we achieved to underline Tom Medical's claim that the application is driven by science and not by trends. Yeah, actually, I'm through my slides. That was faster or much faster than expected. I thought I'll have at least 15 minutes, so we will have more time for coffee.
Yeah. Well, and
Or
also
more time
you
for
started
questions.
slightly early. So there's that too. You started about 4 minutes early, so you're not that
Okay.
ahead of schedule. We
Okay.
do have a question from Alexander in the chat asking how do you sell GraphQL to non-technical stakeholders who have to decide when starting a project?
Well, actually, they give the decision completely in our hands. I don't think it's worth to discuss technical decisions with non-technical stuff. So that's kind of difficult. I mean, or well, it's possible if you can show business value, and if you can show that it is quicker in development with using GraphQL than not using GraphQL, that's something you can deal with and force a decision or show a path to the decision. But it's more a business decision than a technical decision.
Perfect. We have a question, a few questions from Indrit Salimi. First question is, where's the B2B pricing engine? Is it in SAP or still in Commerce Layer? Basically, which engine is calculating the B2B pricing and the promotions?
The calculation is done in Commerce Layer, but it's duplicated from SAP.
Gotcha. And then the follow up on that is why did you choose HighGraph as the solution for content?
Because of GraphQL. Because it's the only, it was at that time at least the only CMS that where we were able to build up our product model. And we use it more as a PIM, actually, as a product information management system, where we built up our product model than as a classical content management system. And so we were able to model our product model and query it with GraphQL, and that was an easy decision then.
I've got kind of a secondary question too, and this will give people a chance to ask more questions if they have them. Oftentimes, when we talk about like developer experience and all the great things that come from like modern developer tools, we don't often talk about the user experience that much in kind of relation to that. With GraphQL, sounds like you're talking about there's a nice convergence of those two concepts. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of the right data, the right performance, and all that in terms of both the developer experience and the user experience at the same time?
Yeah, well, this is critical. We usually start with the customer journey and the user experience, and the good thing about GraphQL is because you query the structure in runtime. You are very flexible for future requirements. You start with a simple product page, and when you add some more complexity, like a configuration system or the scan to cart features and so on, then you can build it on the same API and do not need to restart huge enhancement projects.
Nice. All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions right now. So another round of applause and emojis in chat for Marco. And Marco, thank you so much for being here and sharing your expertise.